Point number one. Here, semi-pro battles about to go down. 2022 NXL Lone Star Open. I'm Matty Marshall with Rich Telford. It's the Titans taking on Blastcamp, going 15 minutes on the clock, and it looks like first to drop a body, Rich, going to be the Titans on the blue side.
Yeah, Titans got caught trying to go outside on the top side, Matty. Both teams now with Titans with one in the top 50. It looks like Blastcamp now in the bottom 50. Those guys can cross-shoot each other, as you can now see on our cameras. They're shooting across and shoot each other out.
Looks like they trade out. That's going to be one of the crucial angles. Blastcamp also losing a body on that top side. So we're calling the top side, the farther side away from you, top of your screen. They'll have the red Doritos and the blue snake up there. And in that first set we saw, it was becoming very blatantly important, the power of the center of the field. And as we see the Titans getting a kill from there, a couple actually, and also with the snake feature on both sides of the field, it's easier to get to that 50-yard line wedge than it is from the Doritos.
On the right hand.
Yeah.
Yep. And what we're seeing from the center of the field, Matty, is that it's powerful both offensively and defensively, and that's why it's so powerful, right? Because you can go up there early, block down the attackers that are trying to get in the snake, get those kills, and then go through and get their center guys out and really create some havoc up there.
Yeah, so the Titans here initially had lost a body early, but just kind of chopping up Blastcamp on some moves up the field, winning a couple gunfights, and it looks like it's a 2-on-1 right now.
I believe so, and the last Blastcamp player gets eliminated. He filled back from the Dorito side to try to stem the tide, but a little too late. Titans going to win this first point. Like you said, down, start off 4-on-5, battle back.
Those are always good ones to win, man. Get a nice little solid start here, even though you were in a touch of a low body situation. Got it right back.
I feel like this is going to be one of those fields that the team that can get 5 guys from the back line up to this line or slightly past, which is the 50 into their 45, is going to win more points, because that's where the points are won and lost.
Yeah, well, you have to assume that unless you saw that body walk off early, that there's going to be somebody pretty quick in Snake 2. So that's a pretty solid spot to get to, because the jump from there to the wedge does appear to be, it's just easier to get up the field from the snake portion of this field. Now, again, as you can see, there's a snake portion on both sides, and they're offset, and you're going to be going right-handed into the snake, left-handed into the Doritos, regardless of the side that you're going to be playing. Now, yes, these guys should be able to be competent with both hands, but sometimes it's a little bit more comfortable to run with the gun in your dominant hand. Still, though, in those inside angles on that gap between Snake 2 and the wedge, that's becoming really potent. And then what are your center players going to do? We saw in that first set, center players were thriving. We saw Stewart from the Hurricanes play very well for his squad up there. Harris Hussein, Arson Hussein had a couple good ones for Extreme. So we'll see if the tendencies on this blind layout continue, or will we see something different?
Yeah, I can't imagine anything too different.
So
Annapolis loses their first player attacking on the top side, Matty, but immediately Phil.
So we got Annapolis 18 playing Austin Notorious here in their first point, and throwing 15 minutes on the clock, semi-pro division.
A little bit of a home game here for Notorious, right?
Yeah.
Texas boys.
Yeah, Notorious, though, going to be losing 2 bodies.
Down 1 early here, 3-on-4. Notorious taking the bottom side. Snake 2.
Got to worry about that
50.
gap. Got to worry about that crossfield gap. I don't think he knows he's there.
Oh,
he does not. It cost him his body.
He knows now.
You got to worry about that gap. The crossfield gap against who's playing your position on the other side, that Snake 2 into the wedge. Really have to be wary of that gap. It needs to be the first place that you check off as you're making the move from Snake 2 into the wedge.
Well, and I was walking the field yesterday. I was joking with a few players that we'd be talking all day about guys in both of these spots that could easily shoot each other but not looking across the field and seeing each other. Hasn't happened yet.
So now pushing into the Doritos into the wedge because of that death, and not a lot of bodies left out here for Notorious. 2 players left alive for them. They have D3 and it looks like the insert bunk to the Snake.
I believe it's 2-on-4.
Oh, but they clip out the player for Annapolis 18 trying to get past the 50, and then they try to get into the Snake. This is Blastcamp. He gets eaten up. Or sorry, not Blastcamp, but that was Notorious trying to get into the Snake.
Great new move by the Annapolis player here there to go forward and catch the last 2 players.
That was a little bit of an interesting point here.
Yeah. Annapolis lost their first couple guys trying to attack on the top side. Notorious lost their few players out of the center, and Annapolis was able to just keep battling through.
Yeah, Notorious, 2nd place at the first event. And it's a team that we've seen them move up the divisions and look real solid.
Yeah, they've always been at the top of each division as they move forward.
Yeah. I mean, ideally, that's how you would like to do it.
That's how it's supposed to be done.
Yeah, that's kind of why
Most
the
people
divisions
don't have the
exist.
patience.
Yeah. But now here, eventually, do want to take that team pro. So it's a multi-year project. The boys from Notorious, but dropping that first point. So A-team looking solid here initially. I liked the read and react on the A-team. They did squander a few bodies here or there, so it was not a perfect point, but
yeah,
it was effective nonetheless.
Dorito death was sloppy.
Yeah.
The attackers early on, was, that's par for the course. You're going to lose those guys early, but that Dorito guy was a little sloppy.
Yeah, Blastcamp's another team been hearing a lot about.
Texas strong.
Good to see them out here semi-pro, trying to see where they can take this paintball journey. Taking on the Titans, Manawatu Titans.
Blastcamp snake on the break on the top side. Big bite on the Dorito side, on the top side as well from the Titans. Titans down 3 bodies here early on this point, though, man. It's a 5-on-3 already here. This point's devolving rather quickly.
Yeah, not a good start here for the Titans. Losing the 2 early and don't really have good ground. Blastcamp on the flip side, though, looking solid, across the field. Everyone's up, shooting their guns, putting a lot of pressure. 5 bodies still alive, 5-on-3 situation here. Blastcamp trying to tie it up. They're at the 40-yard line, or sorry, the 50-yard line already. Out of that snake 2 and into that crucial spot. So look for that constantly. That's going to be arguably the most important move out here to set the pace early on in points. Can you get your body from snake? First of all, can you get your body alive into the snake portion of the field? And then can you get them into snake 2 and then snake 2 into the wedge? So it's going to be a little bit harder from the Doritos on these side of the field to do just that, at least from what we've seen so far. And then making quick work of these last few bodies.
Yeah, I mean, once they shot those 3 guys, it was just a matter of time. I don't know if Blastcamp knew the count. It took them a little bit longer than it should have probably to dig out those last 2 Titan guys. And the Titans just played super aggressively on the break. They took the big bite on the Dorito side, a big bite on the snake side, lost those 2 guys, lost another guy quickly. So it's great to take those big bites, but if those guys aren't making it, you got to make those adjustments. You can't play 2-on-5.
1 minute.
So Annapolis A-team. Austin Notorious coming back out here. See if Notorious can tighten things up a bit and get some offense going. Typically not a problem for Austin Notorious. And Annapolis A-team, another team has been around for a long time, gone through different players, but here's semi-pro,
30 seconds.
up by 1.
Yeah, got to be feeling pretty good here. First match of the day, up that first point after losing a couple bodies early.
Yeah.
They will still pull it back out.
Austin Notorious here on your screen, getting ready to go 18 seconds before the start of point number 2. Here, Lone Star open.
10 seconds.
See what Annapolis does differently. Now they'll be attacking the bottom side snake instead of the top side snake. Oh, good break out there from Annapolis. Again, snake on the break. This time he goes in front of the god, makes it in there live.
Yeah, we're looking there on your screen at Notorious on the blue side of the field, but A-team quicker to go and staying alive, taking some ground center. 2 bodies come off for Notorious.
Yep.
Here's A-team pressing the action, trying to get from snake 2 into that wedge at
And that's
the
that
50-yard
crucial
line.
gap. That's that crucial gap, Matt.
Yeah, he checked off on it. They shot the player for Notorious trying to get to the snake off the break, so that always helps.
Annapolis here wrapping around the Dorito side, putting a lot of pressure on the Dorito players in front of him. Early on, he looked inside, putting pressure on that center tower, getting an early kill. FSU down to Notorious down to just 3 players left alive now. They've got the Dorito 1, the Snake Tower, and I can't see the third back center as well.
Well, now look at this closing intelligently though here. A-team playing crisp. Nice quick moves,
Wow,
guns
great.
up.
Running and shooting,
yeah,
amazing.
that is how it is supposed to be done out here. Ooh, almost got clipped there, but tucked back in at the perfect time. His boys pick him up.
Yeah, this might be a 5-on-1 still here.
Yeah, so that was it was close to a perfect point here for A-team.
Yeah.
I mean, they shot bodies on the break.
And their guy who played down here, their point guy, played really, really well.
Yeah, it was that was impressive. Now to go up here, up by 2, and as we've been talking about, Notorious, no slouches, 2nd place at the last event. Now, got ourselves a tie game between the Titans and Blastcamp. At least we've seen some close games out here so far. I mean, even that extreme game ended up with a 3-point spread, but it was back and forth.
How do you say that, Matt?
Manawatu.
And where is that?
I believe
New Zealand?
New Zealand.
Oh, so did they come from New Zealand, or was it
30
just
seconds.
messing around?
They transported here. It's like new technology.
I see
It
the
hasn't
face
got
you're
to
making.
it
You're
hasn't
lying
got
to
to
me
the
for
States
sure.
yet.
I'm not talking.
What?
Sorry, guys.
No, I'm being serious.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's teleportation technology.
It's gonna be a long weekend, people. I know.
One of them didn't
It's
make it in
gonna
the
be long.
transition, so they're down that one body. I mean, I'm guessing, Rich, that they flew here,
Mhm.
just out of maybe, possibly, maybe took a boat. The scenic route.
I'm starting a new club. It's called We Hate Matt Marshall. If you guys want to be a member, just hit me up. It's a very exclusive club. Only everybody can join.
Blastcamp almost doing a little barrel roll there. And anytime I see somebody do that, referee's looking at him too. Did he take a shot in his shoulder?
Is there something he's trying to remove from his body other than his hopper?
Yeah, I couldn't tell if he just took a spill or definitely wasn't intentional. Regardless, he's alive. He's in good position. You can see our eye in the sky here in the red side of the field, Blastcamp.
Players are starting to look at that gap really closely.
Yeah,
now
you
before just
have
going
to.
across
So
it.
that's there. That's the way to do it. Check off. There's no one there to shoot that lane,
Well,
but you have to check off on it.
They shoot it from the other tower as well.
2 bodies have come off for the Titans, so Blastcamp in real good position here at the 50-yard line. We're calling this the bottom side of the field. Top of your screen will be top side.
Yeah. Oh, Titans lose another player from that cross shot there from the 50 on this side. Just asking for a check, but doesn't need it. Now he's got the player in front of him. I don't think they know he's in his Dorito yet. Communicating real well from Blastcamp. You hear communication from center going back and then from back and across. Blastcamp kind of slow playing the Dorito side, fast playing Snake side.
Concession here for the Titans as Blastcamp just complete control that entire point.
Yeah.
1
Gonna
minute.
take a slight 1-point lead. Man, so crucial. Get a couple kills on the break.
Makes a big difference, huh?
Ideal. That's ideal. And then took advantage of it. Didn't wait in their bunkers at all. Feeling very little pressure. So getting into some key spots.
No sloppy death.
Well, yeah, and then really closing nicely. So solid execution from Blastcamp.
Well, and once A-Team lost their, once Manitou Titans lost their first couple guys, they lost all their offense. And I think on this field, even if you lose a couple guys, you still got to attack those 50s. I don't think you can sit back and hope to cross it up.
I feel like just for fun, instead of calling them the Titans, we should just force you to call them the, what is it? Manawatu?
I have no idea.
So anytime we have to say it, I'm just going to let you pick that one
Yeah,
up.
and just so you guys know, I was drawing a blank on the name, and I was looking at my friend Matty to help me out there, and he just rolled his eyes and looked away from me like, suck it, Rich, suck it. So thank you again, Matt.
Well, Notorious has some work to do.
Yeah,
Good news for them and for their fans is they have a lot of time to work with because A-Team's put up a couple quick ones. Now, A-Team's looking crisp right now. See if they can keep it going. And looks like A-Team going to be shooting another body on the break, maybe 2 as a referee and checking out Notorious' Snake player.
Well, Notorious has been together for a long time, so they're not out of this match yet. It's not like a rookie team that just got thrown together. They certainly can dig down by 2, but they've got to come out and do something differently. You can see a Snake player there on the bottom of your screen trying to get into the game. Annapolis is already in Notorious' side of the field, though, on the top side, Matt.
Yeah, and Notorious losing another body out of the tower, so just down to 3.
Yeah, 5-on-3 advantage
They
here.
have decent position in the Snake, but their Snake player is down on his, he's on his belly, protecting himself. There's no one in front of him to run him down.
Yeah, it's the guy in the inside cut that you can't see, Matty, at that wedge. That's just pounding that gap on the inside for him. So he came up in the very beginning, head checked it, and hasn't looked again.
I mean, I understand why he's trying to stay alive, but he's kind of out of the game at this point.
100%. Yeah, you've got to either come up with a top and put that guy in, or figure something else out.
Yeah, because if not, he's going to get bunkered out here.
So now he's going to end up engaging this guy, but it's way better to engage him when it's a 5-on-5 instead of waiting until it's a 5-on-1 before you start to gunfight that guy.
Yeah, and that's the situation he's in. It's just him. He's on his belly in the Snake, and this is when your back's going to hurt a little bit unless your team saves you by conceding the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Point approved.
not ideal start here for Austin Notorious. His A-Team looking real good, Rich.
Yeah, and
3 unanswered points.
And look how controlled they were playing. That was a 5-on-1, and none of them were looking to fly down the field and make the glory move and smash somebody out. They were shooting their guns. They were communicating.
Textbook paintball, shooting bodies on the break,
Well, textbook
playing intelligent.
paintball, if you're good at that, right? A lot of people aren't good at that stuff, like sitting back, being smart, being methodical. A lot of guys are just like, oh, God, there's only one dude. Watch out. I got to do something cool. Great shot from our cable cam there.
As we fly on over to the blue side of the field, and just such an interesting layout. We've never really seen
And
anything like this.
explain why they call that the blue side, Matt.
Oh, the bunkers are blue.
Okay. Now that you say it that way, it makes sense. And the other side
There,
of the
well,
field.
there's some red on the bunkers, but predominantly blue, and then out here on the red side. But yeah, you can see a set of Doritos and a set of and half of a snake structure on both of these sides. But
It's 2 half of fields.
yeah, so going in right-handed the snake, regardless of where you're playing, which side of the field, blue side or red side, and then going in left-handed to into the Doritos. And yeah, sure, the elite players are proficient with both hands. Everyone's proficient with both hands to play paintball at this level, but it still can be an issue sometimes. Now 3 bodies left alive currently for the Titans. Not a great start for them.
Yeah, Titans have to do a better job of surviving this breakout, Matty. I mean, that's the beginning of the game, and they're losing the beginning of the game every single point, and it's just putting them in a really tough situation. That's the first time we've seen that, Matty. The guy going from Snake 1 to Snake 2 got caught. I can't see who caught him, but he caught him going outside. Titans now lose another guy. It's only 1 on 5 now, which is going to put that one guy in a tough position.
Yeah, and Blastcamp is in really good position at the 50-yard line at the top.
Yeah, and
top side of the field.
They don't know it's a 5-on-1. They probably think it's a 5-on-2, but they know it's close, So another easy point there for Blastcamp. Titans, again, need to do a better job of surviving the breakout. Hard to launch much offense when you're down 2 or 3 points. 2 or 3 bodies every point. Blastcamp really looking good out here, winning the breakout and just controlling the tempo completely.
Yeah, looking real solid here. So looking for Notorious to step up.
Notorious.
Just getting off to a. Well, you're such just a beautiful singer, Rich.
Thanks, man.
Just kind of dialed on.
Especially early in the morning like this. Especially early in the morning. I have a sultry blues voice. I just don't want to,
I love me some blues.
Break it out too early.
30 seconds.
Annapolis looking really strong here.
Yeah, they're looking about as good as you can look here. 3 unanswered, and it's the way they're winning them too. Just shooting bodies, making crisp moves. They definitely know this field and the angles out here. I mean, it's.
The first point was close, right? They dropped a couple bodies and battled back. That obviously gave them some juice going to those next 2 points, because the next 2 points they were in full control the whole point. Be interesting to see what Notorious does to battle back. The Notorious has not gone through the center of the field yet. They've been pretty much focusing outside, so let's see if they can change that up. Maybe go through.
Well, they've just been losing too many bodies. They need to try to get at least 4 bodies alive out here. I mean, preferably 5. Looks like they are going to be doing it this time.
Yep. And they do go up the center of the field with one of their bodies. He's going to go up. It's kind of weird though. He's going up to lock down. Notorious gets a penalty.
Yeah, that's a frustration penalty right there. Things have not been going that well for them. They do get a quick kill though to get it a little bit closer. It's a 4-on-3 situation.
4-on-2, Matty.
4-on-2 now.
The player that went up the center for Notorious went up and looked Dorito side, which to me, if you're going to lock down one lane, you want to lock down the snake side of the field, because that's the guy who's doing the most of the damage.
Well, A-team here on your screen at the 50-yard line.
Yeah. 4-on-2, Annapolis in complete control. Notorious with one in the God and one in the inset Dorito, so 2 positions. Looks like Annapolis might be losing another player, Matty. Referee is signaling, yep, and they have. So now it's a 3-on-2. Oh, at the same time, Notorious unfortunately loses both of their last 2 players. Annapolis loses another player. So it went from a 4-on-2 to a 2-on-0.
A few sloppy deaths out there for A-team, but Adams went off again over here, coming out of that snake, getting into the 50-yard line, playing just like how he's checking off lanes. He's very proactive. His head's constantly on a swivel. A couple mistakes there in some gunfights in a high body situation for Annapolis, but they still put that 4th point on the board.
It gets hard to play tight when you're up by 3 points and you're up by 2 or 3 bodies in a point, right? Like you're like, come on, man, we've already won this match. Can I have some fun? Can I go shoot some people? And you're kind of fighting that, and not as an individual, but every individual on the team is fighting that same.
Well, you're always constantly trying to tell yourself you should be, and remind yourself to play tight, to do the A, B's, and C's, and the,
do your
the
job.
Simple stuff. But yeah, sometimes when you see that blood in the water, you're up a bunch of points, you're feeling good, you're in a high body situation, and sometimes that's when you just get a little sloppy.
You look over, your buddy's up on his toes, you're like, oh, Matt's gonna go get that guy. Oh man, that's messed up, man. I'm gonna go get that guy.
Yeah. Maybe you didn't get any of those kills, so you want to contribute and just play a little over battling. So now
they just called me in high school Mr. Overbattle.
So right now here, Blastcamp with a 2-point lead over the Titans. Where are they from again, Rich? You give me a good old college try on the name.
I want to say they're from New Zealand.
Oh, okay. You're taking the easy route out.
Yes.
Manawatu, it's not that hard.
To be fair, I can't see the name that's printed on the screen because I'm so old. You can at least read it and sound it out. For me, I can see that it starts with an M and then ends with maybe an O.
Can you read the scoreboard over there?
Yeah, it's 3-1.
How much time's left on the time before the game, the ticker down?
15, 13, I can see that.
Okay, all right, yeah. I see you guys still
But
work.
listen, that is not easy to see, friend.
Okay.
Don't say okay. Agree with me like you're right, Rich. That is really
I
hard
can
to see.
I can see it.
You can lie. You'd lie about it. If it was negative, you'd be lying for sure. Snake on the break for the Titans. And Dorito 2 as well. Biggest bite we've seen. They do lose their snake player, Matty.
They lose that snake player, so down to 4. It's a 4-on-5 situation in favor of Blastcamp. So after that first point for the Titans, it's been all Blastcamp. Blastcamp going to be losing their body, though, from the top side of the field. Going to be losing another body from that side. So just 3 players left alive for Blastcamp. A couple tough deaths for them.
Yeah, and this, in my opinion, is what the Titans need to do. They need to attack, survive the breakout and then just attack.
Oh, they're going to be losing another. Oh, man, Blastcamp needs to tighten this one up here. It's 3 deaths within about 20 seconds.
I don't know Blastcamp well enough to know if this is like their second line or they're just like, hey, let's just go out and learn the field a little bit differently. They are attacking now, Matt. Even down on bodies, Blastcamp just attacked on the top side and got another 2 more kills, Matt.
Oh, man.
Blastcamp's going to come back and win this.
Blastcamp just gunning his way in. Might have another one-on-one situation. We saw one in the first set. We have another one here. I do have red and gold coins courtesy of Hormesis and Coin Duel. And it looks like he's just going to go for it. Yeah, the Titans do not, the last player left alive didn't know the count. He did not get up and on his feet and get his gun swiveled in the direction of Blastcamp in time as Blastcamp able to run and steal the point away.
Serious question. That was a one-on-one.
Yeah.
He just won that one-on-one. Does he get a coin?
I think he does.
Because he didn't shoot the guy, but he won it. It's a win,
yes,
right?
you don't have to. The object of the
I'm
game.
asking honestly.
Understandably. I feel, in my opinion, that the objective is to win the point. So whether you have to shoot the body to do that or you outsmart the player, you still won that engagement by achieving the goal. Goal is to hit the buzzer. That's exactly what he did. He just outsmarted his opponent.
For some reason that guy concedes the point, that coach concedes the point, you still win that. You don't shoot the guy, but you win the point.
Yeah, if you force it to a stalemate enough and then based on the situation, which I don't really typically see concessions in a one-on-one, but in that
I'm just
situation,
trying to work out the contracts.
Understandable, but I think he still gets a coin. So.
I do too. I'm always in favor for giving the coin.
Yeah, and that's just a heads up play. Things were not going well for Blastcamp.
Yeah, they pulled it right back, though.
They lost a bunch of bodies. It was not a great situation for them. Titans looked like they were going to make this one a game, but just a heads up play by that last player there for Blastcamp. Couldn't see who that was. Still trying to learn the names of the Blastcamp players.
A-team up by 4. Plenty of time left in this match, but Notorious would have to make some significant changes to what they've been doing so far. They attack. They go Snake 2, Dorito 2 on the break. They do also shoot an A-team player on the top side. 2 A-team players on the top side. Looks like Notorious is going to win this point, Matty. They're already in the bottom 50, looking inside of the tower.
Well, Rich, they have time. They have 9 minutes and 3 seconds left, but they have just not looked like the typical Austin Notorious that we've seen the past couple seasons.
They do this point.
Yeah, looking good. They're in really good position here. Bottom side of the field on your screen currently here. This is Johnson. He's looking inside, just trying to play smart.
Yeah, I'd like to see him wrap, Matt, and go one more forward into that Dorito. If he can get into Annapolis' side of the field on that Dorito, the angles are really, really good.
Yeah, there's no one in front of him on this side of the field to put pressure down the sideline, so he could wrap and maybe get a kill on the player in the back center. Back center's now actually going to dive head first and able to make it clean. So
had he been wrapping,
that
would
wouldn't
have
have
got that kill, right? No one's containing for Notorious.
Yeah, a little touch of tunnel vision here in this position as he's just really gunned up on that inside lane and not being very proactive in his spot. And he has help. There's a body right beside him in the center. I was just going to say that he had a touch of some real estate on that in the Doritos on the red side, but that player just got shot out of his spot. So now he's going to wrap around.
Yeah, again, it's a lot easier to do this when you have more bodies.
Yeah, so untouched, not feeling any pressure as he comes through. Did he get that inside kill? Looks like he didn't.
Yeah, he thought he did,
but he's feeling no one's shooting at him right now.
But he's sitting on that side of the bunker probably because there's no one on the top side for
see if Johnson can get a kill. He's a little blocked out. When he goes down low, he's going to be blocked out by that bunker in front of him, little mini wall. Now he does finally get that kill. Oh, penalty assessed, though, on his boy behind him, and Johnson's about to get run down. Was he able to trade here?
Nope.
With
2-on-1.
Dell, and Dell's just eating people up right now.
Annapolis is looking strong.
Ooh, man, that was a great counterpunch here.
Yeah, that
Annapolis
penalty really
18.
hurt.
Yeah, that was just a total gift for A-team. They made the most of it, though.
That was a 4-on-2, man.
Yeah, those are the ones you want back. It's just not, I mean, Austin Notorious, you cannot.
Can't throw away a 4-on-2 down by 4 points. And they looked great in the beginning of that point. They just did not finish. They played, 7/10 of a really good point there. They just needed 30% more.
Yeah, Notorious.
And they were in the position
some-
early on.
Yeah, they have some work to do to tighten things up. They're making kind of little mistakes all over the place. There was a penalty. They lost a body out of D3 for no reason. I really like what we're seeing out of Johnson, but Johnson also was a little too tunnel vision on that inside for too long.
He had the ball for a long
Yeah,
time.
and then when he finally made the move, it was a little too late. So just a few miscues here for Notorious has really cost him, and A-Team has made the most of it. And A-Team's playing great.
Yeah, can't take anything away from A-Team. Notorious is just, they kind of start slow this match.
Yeah, I like the counterpunch we saw at A-Team in that last one. Yeah, like you said, it was a low body situation, but maybe they've been doing some situational
They've been doing
drills.
some drills.
You can tell. You can always tell the teams and players that do a lot of situational drills because they be getting that 4. If they're the 4, then they know what they're doing. They put the puzzle pieces together quickly and they execute. They're not, sitting around questioning what we should or should not be doing. And then also flip side on the 2.
Even if it doesn't work, they're doing the right things,
Yeah.
right?
So now Blastcamp here, the 3-point lead over the Titans.
Titans look like they have one guy getting checked, 4 guys alive at least. Titans going through the center. Kind of the biggest bite we've seen early on in the center. Oh, he was in position to shoot that player attacking the snake.
A penalty
Missing.
assessed here on Blastcamp Ridge. It's going to take out this whole side, the bottom side of the field. Destroyed. They do have a player in the back center and the tower. Oh, and Blastcamp also loses the player trying to get into the 50 wedge. So this is an opportunity for the Titans to come and get this score a little closer. 8 minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock. A ton of time because we've seen a lot of fast points, and the body's currently dwindling down to 1 for Blastcamp, and that should do it.
Good point there for the Titans.
Yeah, Titans just need to figure out the count because they've already done all the work. Well, a little comeback point for the Titans. Make it a 2-point spread now as long as this player's clean.
There's a lot of time left. Only 2-point spread.
Yeah, that's a lot of time.
Titans like, hey guys, this game's not over. I know you guys are talking like this game's over. It's not over.
That is something that you do need to, as the kids these days say, the vibe in the pit, it needs to be positive. And even if you're down 3 or 4, if there's still 8 minutes on the clock, the game is not over. And that needs to be, oh, look at this, Blake Yarber. He's in there with the Titans. So Blake Yarber, whose cousin cut his thumb off, but he healed up like the Wolverine. And even though he still has some mobility issues with it, I mean, he's going to be playing here. So it's a tough dude. Yeah, we did a little interview with him yesterday, and then afterwards, because I had said something, I can't remember the exact thing I said, but yeah, he cut his thumb off. He's like, I did not cut my thumb off. My cousin did it. But
That's
hey,
the worst.
but hey, man, sewed it back on, and
Yep.
he's going to be out here playing. And,
Technology.
World Cup MVP, so that's just even more strength for Dynasty's squad. Trying
That's
to
what they really
make history
needed.
here.
One more good guy.
Yeah, it's a very stout lineup for Dynasty to try to get 4 wins in a row. And with how competitive paintball is at the top end, that would be insane if they could pull that off out here. And with no Legion and no Saints, you could say that the road could be a touch easier to that 4 wins. But the problem for Dynasty is that bracket they're in, bracket A, is just, it's a filthy bracket. Dynasty, Damage, Infamous, Diesel, and X Factor all in a bracket together.
I feel like one of those teams is going to really have a bunch of tough matches, but win those matches by like 1 scrappy point. And then those guys are going to be looking real good come Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, the winner of this tournament would not surprise anyone if it came out of bracket A.
I thought it was bracket D for death.
It should be. So got about 13 seconds to go before the start of this next point here.
Do you know what they
2-point
always say
spread.
in Manawatu?
What do they say in Manawatu?
I don't know.
Oh, you nailed the name right there.
I've been waiting.
Saying it in your head like 15 times before
Yeah.
you say it out loud.
Titans
I
get
did
out to
the
the
same thing.
corner and into Dorito player gets caught. Blastcamp loses 1 though. 4-on-4 here, Maddie. Blastcamp sitting in the back. I don't think that's the way you want to play this field, even
Yeah.
if you're up on points, man.
Neither team with much forward progression currently.
Titans dropping another one.
Oh,
4-on-3
dropping
advantage.
2 more.
Oh, 4-on-2 advantage for Blastcamp here. Titans with no one on the bottom side of the field. Just the center tower locking down the bottom side and the God on the top side. Blastcamp, though, up by 2 points. Not a lot of initiative to leave their bunkers. They do leave back center to the bottom side tower.
Yeah, Blastcamp talking it up and rolling their guns nicely. See if they can get this count right and start and get a little bit more forward progression. So they're currently in some back spots, burning off some time.
Yeah, I mean, there is a ton of time left in this match, so it would make sense for them, even though they're up by 2, to try to burn up a little bit of time in 4-on-2.
It's a 4-on-2 situation with 7.5 minutes left, and if you're the 4, if you're Blastcamp, it would be ideal if they'll let you burn 2-3 minutes off. That'd be great, because if you still get that point win, and you go up by 3, and there's a lot less game time left, it definitely is much more beneficial to you. So now, then, yeah, intelligently biding their time, letting the lanes drop, working their way up the field, and just trying to figure out that count. Another kill here from Blastcamp. And now we're going to see a concession, as it was just down to 1 player left alive here for the Manawatu Titans. So Blastcamp taking control of this match now here, Rich. And
certainly, yeah, I mean, they've been in control the whole time, really, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
that one point they lost early, other than that.
The Titans started out with the first one, and then, it was Blastcamp. Runner-up score a touch, and then Titans did put one on. I believe Blastcamp did have a penalty in that one. I can't remember, but yes, it has been mostly Blastcamp, hence the score 5-2.
It was the penalty in that one. They lost the top 2 guys.
Yeah,
top side.
yeah. So yeah, Blastcamp, and just hearing so many good things coming out of that crew, and looking forward to seeing them move on in their paintball careers. Here, semi-pro division, watching right now.
Beautiful Giant Sports Park.
Yeah, great facility.
Second time we've been here, right?
Yeah. Love that.
I'm coming back in
the
June.
turf.
I'm coming back in June, hang out.
Oh, I thought you said you were going to come back and play.
I don't know about all that.
1 minute.
Have you had any black coin challenges?
I have, but not for paintball. I have been just printing gold coins by playing Yosh Rao and Alex Frazier in golf.
Nice.
So I have, I think, 5 gold coins, courtesy of some games of golf I played against them. So I had to put my black coins up for that, but they have been unable to take me down.
They can't beat me.
And then, yeah, so if you want to come and get a black coin from me, you need to get that coin from me where I earned it, which is with an autococker in the woods. That's kind of that's my challenge to the challengers.
Yeah.
Have you?
No. I've heard a lot of people have said stuff, but no one's been like, all right, meet me Sunday at the field.
Well, another thing too is that as we are slightly old and broken,
hard to find.
I definitely do play some paintball, but it's 10-man in big games, so you're gonna have to find me on one of those. Because people will come up here and it's like, oh, hey Maddie, let me challenge you for black coin. I'm like, where, bro?
Yeah.
Kind of got a job to do for a little bit, and it's not like we can just sneak out on the field.
I wish. Titan snake on the break on the bottom side, Maddie.
And yeah, it looks like Blastcamp going to be losing a body, and it looks like they're going to be trading those. Now, Titans have another one walking off from that back center. Not an ideal spot to get shot from, but that back center is not super safe.
No, I mean, guys are walking out for sure. I like the way that the Titans are up in this 50 and they have the inside break watching over that guy.
It's a nice shot. Player for the Titans here at this 50. I think he just wrapped around and shot that can. Referee's in there checking him out. Oh, maybe he bounced him, but...
He bounced the drill and the can.
Oh, man, tough break here. I thought that was going to be a couple quick kills, but...
He did too.
Hey, man, like we always say, I'd rather be lucky than good.
That's right. I love the positioning here, though. The Titans, with those 2 spots, I looked at that when we were rocking the field. You can lock down almost the whole side of the field from those 2 positions.
Yeah, Titans just a little bit unlucky right now, as they definitely put a ball on a couple of these guys out here, but some bouncers helping out Blastcamp.
Got to take care of that paint, man.
This is a great day for the paint, though, because it's not cold, it's not hot.
It's not humid.
It's not humid. This is ideal paint situation right now.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised we don't see anybody breaking any paint because it's a little chill.
It is a little bit, not too bad.
Blastcamp's doing a good job of locking this up in a 4-on-3 situation here.
Yeah, and with the 3-point lead that Blastcamp has, they're probably going to be a little happy if they could burn some of this clock off.
For sure.
Looking here with our eye in the sky, the cable cam, as Blastcamp.
Good little battle here on the bottom side.
Titans in pretty good position here.
Yep. Titans, did that guy, inside guy, just get shot?
Man, that's a tough death there for the Titans.
Yeah, he looked to the top side, got caught.
So battle going down here, bottom side of the field. That's what we're calling this, closest to the cameras and the stands. Top side's a little bit more clear.
Titan player over here in this 50 is working really hard to get the kill in the front of the guy in front of him. He's bouncing twice.
Well, and the way that Dorito is lined up, he has to actually come out of his bunker to be able to battle down. But Blastcamp, nice little quick move here into the inside and able to take that player out as he checked off back on that inside lane. So Blastcamp going to put their 6-point up, 1 point away from a Mercy Rule win. It's 5-point Mercy Rule in the semi-pro division, and we are focusing just on the Titans and Blastcamp currently because of the big Mercy Rule victory for the A team over Notorious, which I didn't think we'd see that. Notorious taking 2nd place at the last event.
No, I mean, they're both top teams, so I thought it would be a closer match for sure, but Annapolis was definitely running away with that. They had that Notorious had that 1 point where they came out real fast, real early, and I was like, okay, they've lost 3, but they're right back in this match now, and then just fizzled out after that.
Yeah, so with the time on the board, 4:47, down by 4, Titans are in a situation where they are going to have to ride that reckless edge to try to take some ground and push forward.
Yeah.
They don't really have another choice currently. They're 1 point away from a Mercy Rule loss. And yeah, Blastcamp really playing this field the way it's supposed to be played.
I agree.
You really have to work on getting that body into Snake 2. He has to check off on the inside, and you want to get him to that 50. It definitely appears that it is much easier as a Snake player, even though there's a Snake on both sides, but the Snake players have been just kind of mostly coasting into that 50. The Dorito players really have to work a lot harder to get into that spot.
Super hard, yep. And earlier on in those matches, we saw that center brick cutting off the Snake gap, but we haven't seen that since early on, so it'll be interesting if that trends throughout the rest of the day.
I think it will trend
I
when
do
we
too.
have the top teams come out here.
Some guys are trying to do it from that tower, but it's just not as effective. It's farther back, and it's also farther towards the top side, so the angle's just nowhere near as good. The gap is much smaller.
Yeah, the move is getting penetration in that middle, or being quick into the 50 on the opposite side.
Yep.
But ideally it's the center. The center is going to be incredibly important.
I think you have to have a guy shoot and then release at the center every single point.
But we saw Stuart Ridgel for the Hurricanes.
He turned that point.
He was
turned that
lights
game
out
around.
for him, man, and he wasn't doing anything crazy.
Nope, he was just in position. Titans losing their first attacker here on the bottom side. Instinctually, you look over and you want to say Dorito side or Snake side.
And we've only been doing it that way for 15 years. So, yeah, it's a little tough. Apologies. Yeah, we are calling the side closest to the stands in the camera, the bottom side, and then the top side of your screen. We're kind of looking at the top side currently here. So that's the red Doritos and the blue Snake, vice versa on the bottom side. And on the bottom side, Blastcamp is in good position again. They're actually in good position on both sides of the field. They have D3, Snake 2, a 4-point lead, just burning clock off right now.
Looks like they might be losing their back guy in this tower.
Yeah,
Nope,
and
looks
another.
okay.
So we're looking at like another body dropping from the back center. Lots of bodies have been getting shot out of these back spots because there are really good angles from the Snake, from the Doritos into those back spots.
And because we haven't practiced this field before, there might be a bounce shot back there that
Yeah.
no one knows about, that paint's just randomly bouncing in.
That is a very good point.
They'll have to doubt, like, hey, are you getting shot directly, or is it just coming in from random spots?
Another body coming off here for Blastcamp. So losing 3 bodies here pretty quick. Just 2 bodies out there left alive. They lost the back center. They
Titans
lost
are on-
their
yeah.
attacker in the Doritos Ridge on the red side.
And Titans are in Blastcamp side of the field. Tim just delivered us a fan for tomorrow. Thank you, Timmy. Might have just saved Matt's life. As a sensitive little butterfly, can't handle the heat.
Hey, speak for yourself.
I was.
Even
I
though
was just
you
using
are
your name.
you are from the 7th level of hell, Modesto, where it gets a little hot in the summer, just a little.
It's the way we like it. Spicy. It's 2-on-1, right, Matty? Am I missing another guy?
There are 2 players left alive for Blastcamp.
Okay, is there
It's
the two?
D2, yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Good reading it from Titan guy, filling from the top side tower over to the bottom side can, which
Still-
is what he needs to do.
Yeah, but this is just ideal for, obviously lost a bunch of bodies, but for
Burn
Blastcamp,
the
burn the time off with this 4-point lead. They are going to be losing the player in the tower, and then the player in D2 gets a run down and actually trades out. So is there a body left alive here for the Titans? But he's walking off, though. He's pumping his arms up. You got to go hit the buzzer. Time's still ticking off. He's walking off. I think he might have been shot, because why would he be walking towards the pits?
Game stop. No point.
Yeah,
point.
so great situation for Blastcamp, and no point as everyone traded in that 2-on-2 situation. I did like that the Titans were spreading the field. They figured out the count.
Must be a little frustrating for the Titan coach. Like, guys, we're so close.
Yeah. And the player for the Titans that was pushing, from the blue side, from the Snake into
Coming
the
back,
50 from that top side of the field, he did some work over there, but just ended up trading out with that last body. So, and then his buddy must have got shot at some point during that chaos. So we will see here as about to close out this match in this set. A lot more paintball coming at you here. The 2022 NXL Lone Star Open here at Giant Party Sports in a little north of Dallas, Texas, a little northeast, Plano. We're in the pits here currently. Blake Yarber, World Cup MVP, San Diego Dynasty. He will be back on the field. The injury to his thumb, he's back.
Also
But,
voted
here
best
coaching the Titans.
Also voted best beard in the industry,
He does have an epic Viking beard for sure.
and he keeps it.
So about 50 seconds to go before the start of maybe the last point. It is a 4-point spread, so if Blastcamp can put up that 5th, that'll be a mercy rule win for them. But if the Titans can find a way to win this one with 2:25 left to go, could see another one out here in addition to this next point.
Well, and, the Titans are scrappy because as well as Blastcamp is playing the field, it looked like this was going to be a pretty quick 5-0 match or 5-1, 5-2, whatever that needed to be.
Timeout.
Yeah, this is also good for Dynasty that Blake is coaching the Titans because it's forcing him to figure out what's not working. And since not a lot is working for the Titans currently, it's forcing Blake to do a lot of that mental work that is required to figure things out on a blind layout. So when he gets with the Dynasty crew and they show up here, they have an afternoon set, 3:45 against X Factor, and then Infamous at 5:45 to close out the day. But they already have Blake out here putting in a lot of the work that's going to help him out, I think.
Yep. Yeah, frustration is kind of what you're looking for if you want to grow, right? You want to be frustrated, you want to not understand something and force yourself to figure it out and go through the process.
And because Dynasty is in such a nasty bracket where they have no easy games, no games really, quote-unquote, easy in the Pro Division, but some of them are easier than others.
Some are definitely easier than
if
others.
you're playing the 19th ranked team, then, yeah, it should be easier than if you're playing the 2nd ranked team.
2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th ranked team.
Yeah, for sure. But the tough part is that because X Factor had such an abysmal finish for the first time in 7 years, missing a Sunday, and they're ranked so low, X Factor down 16th overall. Lowest we've seen him in. There's kids in like 2nd or 3rd grade that have not ever seen X Factor ranked at 12th or 16th place. So they're the last in that bracket A. So it just makes it a really very difficult bracket. So jumping into this next point here.
Blastcamp losing in 1 on the top side. Titans look like they have 5 alive, Maddie.
Yeah, good break here for the Titans, but they don't have a lot of time to work with. This is a situation, if you're the Titans, you really don't want to drop a mercy rule loss and take that 5-point spread deficit going forward because point spread's huge to make it on to Sunday. But yeah, the Titans want to come out and try to maybe move this to a 2-point spread. You know, winning 2 points in 2.5 minutes, you could do that.
Well, they're 5-on-2 here, man. They've got an opportunity for sure. Only players left for Blastcamp or back center and the top can. They're crossed up. Titans have 3-4 guys on the 50-yard line now.
Yeah, looking pretty good so far, making some crisp moves forward. Now they need to get this Dorito player here into the 50-yard line. And he's going to giddy up and get out there. And it looks like the last couple players going to get pinched out for Blastcamp. So no mercy rule loss here for the Titans.
Penalty just called on the last Blastcamp player, so they'll start with 4.
Well, if we're talking about trying to get this back to a 2-point spread, that's going to help things out for the Titans.
That 2-point spread is so important, Matty.
Yeah, think about it. You're looking at a potential mercy rule loss. If the Titans can come out of this just with that -2, that's
pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Best you could hope for. And that's what a lot of, nothing ever goes according to plan, right? And it's what you do with that plan as it starts to fall apart that makes the difference.
Yeah, it's like Mike Tyson's famous quote, which does apply to paintball. You're not actually physically. So he had said, everyone has a plan until you get punched in the face. Now, you're not getting punched in the face out here, but you are going to get shot.
But you kind of are.
Yeah. Metaphorically, yes. So the adjustments they come at a premium. It is absolutely fundamental to success out here, especially on a blind layout. No one had a chance to see this until everyone showed up yesterday. It was my first time seeing it, and it definitely ended up being a creative mix of a creative field from Jason Trozen, who has not disappointed. And past few years, our commissioner has been cranking out some solid gold layouts. It's been really fun to watch. So and this one hasn't disappointed yet either. We've seen a lot of points, been pretty quick. We haven't seen one really long grinder point yet.
Not yet.
And we're only 2 sets in.
Yeah,
so.
and the longest 5-on-5 I think we've had has probably been like 20 seconds, 25 seconds.
And again, we're watching some semi-pro teams here on center court, which is always good to see, because that every year we have one team going down and one team coming up from the pro division down to the semi-pro, and then semi-pro up to pro. So who's that going to be this year? It was the New Orleans Hurricanes last year. They won their first game, taking down New York Extreme. They won their first game at the last event. Hurricanes currently sitting at 14th. And, talking to Mike Bianca, their coach, he had some very realistic goals. Goal number one was, win our first point, then win our first game. And their overarching goal, at least to start out their pro careers, was, and Mike Himman had said this when he was rebuilding Aftermath, he's like, we do not take last. Do not take last place. And they're well on their way so far.
Hey, man, that's very realistic, very mature, and that's a really good way to look at it. Most guys are out here so busy trying to win every single tournament that they never get better, because they're so focused on winning, they're not focused on getting better. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's just, we got to win. Well, how do you win? You win by getting better. You accumulate more and more skills, more and more experience, and use that to win. It's not just about going out there and trying to win with what you got.
Yeah, it's small incremental improvements over time create a drastic competitive advantage. And that's how top teams and top players become elite. It does take some time. And that's why it's fun to watch these semi-pro teams. And some of these teams have been together for a while. Some are a mixture of players that have been playing for a long time and have had a couple seasons. But, so everyone has a unique story. But I've been hearing a lot of good things about Blastcamp. So they play a lot of paintball, and they've been successful. And
they're always
they could be one of those teams.
Yeah, they're kind of like Notorious, where they're always, at the top of whatever division they've been at.
Yeah. Wouldn't surprise me if we saw Blastcamp as a pro team at some point in the future.
And again, Blastcamp starting with 4 on that penalties from last game. Do not shoot any. Shoot 1 on the break, but allow Titans to take a big bite on the top side. They're in Dorito 2, Snake 1.
Well, evening up the count, though, so not ideal here for the Titans. 4-on-4 situation here as they got a little bit of a gift for that penalty on Blastcamp in closing moments. Minute 18 left to go here in this match.
Titans pushing forward into Snake 2. 4-on-4. Blastcamp up by 3 points. 1 minute left. Super important not to get any penalties.
Another body coming off for Blastcamp.
Yep.
From the tower in the backfield. A lot of bodies dropping from those back spots, man. You're catching paintballs from lots of different angles. Here come the Titans past the 50-yard line here on the bottom side of the field.
I like that. Instead of standing and waiting for that gunfight to establish, he went right through it.
Well, he doesn't have much time to work with here. Just, 37 seconds left to go.
But again, it's not as much about winning this match as about playing the field correctly, and I feel like Titans are now playing this field much more correctly.
Well, at one point in time, the Titans could have got mercy ruled, and they have 22 seconds left, and another couple bodies coming off for Blastcamp. They could be taking this to that 2-point spread we were talking about. Just have one more body to shoot. Blastcamp's at the 50-yard line, wrapping around. Looks like he's going to get one. Not able to get that other one, and Blastcamp also had a body at the home, that back center bunker. So it will be a they get it back to a 4-point spread. What a great job by Blastcamp's player, who was at the 50-yard line playing out of that snake position from the blue side of the field. And when the chaos set in, he stayed alive, even though he was taking a ton of pressure.
And Matty, one of the biggest things on this field is going to be playing the whole field, because we're going to see tapes getting crashed left and right, and it's the team that can see that, oh man, they're blowing through the tape. Either I've got to go forward or I've got to cut across, right?
Yeah, so Blastcamp, after all that, will end up with a 4-point spread win here, a victory over the Manawatu Titans. And that is going to be it here for this set. But do not go anywhere. We got some pro teams taking the field again. Columbus level, what a great story. Sitting at 3rd place overall in the entire pro division. And they're going to be playing New York Extreme, who dropped their first game to the Hurricanes. And New York Extreme needs a win. Also, Houston Heat, 3-time World Cup champs, about to take the field to play the ML Kings, the much improved and a little bit scary ML Kings. So that should be a good one. So stick with us here on Go Sports. 2022 NXL Lone Star Open. I'm Matty Marshall. See you in just a couple minutes.